All right, guys, our next guest is Newcastle Knights young gun Beau Fermor. Beau, how are you this afternoon?
Yeah, good. Thanks, Clarky. How are you?
Very good. Thanks for coming on, mate. Now, look, you had your first hit out for the club against the St. George Illawarra Dragons last weekend. How was that experience as a whole, and how'd the body pull up?
Yeah, as a whole, it was a good experience. Being my first game at that level, kind of thing, and yeah, it was all that I expected. And as a club for our first game, that we were pretty happy with how things went. And yeah, the body obviously after the first game of the year pulled up a bit sore, but nothing to be worried about, nothing major. Yeah.
What was something as an individual you took out of that game? Something you were happy with? Maybe an area you felt you needed to improve? Just anything realistically that you took out of that?
Something that I've been working on a lot over pre-season is probably my defensive movements, and I like from watching games from last year and then into that game, I can see that the hard work's starting to pay off, but obviously there's a lot more to keep doing. But yeah, I was pretty happy with how I defended as a whole.
Absolutely. And what was the biggest difference stepping up to the NRL level?
Uh, Probably just the quality of players and just them playing what they see rather than preempting what they're going to do. So it's hard as a defensive player that you got to leave them with no decision to make so that you can defend it easier. And probably just the physicality is another thing. Bigger, stronger bodies hitting harder. Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. You touched on the physicality there. Did you feel a difference in the game speed at all, or was that pretty similar?
For the first game of the year, it always feels fast, but I don't think it was any faster than any game that I've played before. But yeah, just the physicality was the main thing.
Absolutely. Now, you are one of the hottest prospects coming through the junior ranks. So much so you were named Jersey Flegg Player of the Year in 2018. So this was your first season with the NRL side, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah, yep. I just finished my first pre-season, yeah.
And in what way has that been different to some of the pre-seasons you've been involved as a junior Knight?
Well, obviously, I don't have to work anymore, so that's obviously a big one. And footy's now my main focus, and gives me a lot more time to be able to perfect the little things in my game and focus on getting my body right week in, week out to perform the best of my ability.
No doubt. Where were you working at beforehand?
I was just labouring, putting up temporary fences, so it
Okay.
wasn't the easiest thing to do, yeah.
Yeah, I suppose. Did you find it hard balancing rehab with a physical job also?
Yeah, it was hard, obviously, especially on a Sunday game, if playing on a Sunday afternoon and then having to rock up to work Monday morning. I didn't really want to be there, but it's what you had to do. But yeah, obviously a lot better now that on a Monday I can come in and just do some recovery.
Yeah, no doubt. Surrounded by stars such as Mitchell Pearce, Kalen Ponga, David Clemmer, do you ever have to stop and pinch yourself and look at how far you've came?
Yeah, I do. I remember probably my first week of pre-season running into blokes like Aiden Guerra and Mitchell Pearce. It was a bit crazy for me watching them play Origin and stuff when I was a younger kid, and yeah, just to be training with them and be in the same team as them is something that I'll take a lot out of.
Yeah, you touched on Origin there. I've got my fingers crossed, but I have a feeling you're going to say you're a New South Wales Blue.
No, I'm a Queenslander. Played
Beauty.
Queensland last year, so yeah.
Absolutely, that is music to my ears. Sort of, you touched on a lot of the stars that you've been around this preseason. Which one of them or which coach has had the biggest influence and impact on your career?
There's probably three players that come to mind for me. Aiden Guerra, Lockie Fitz, and Sione Matautia are probably the three players that I've worked closest with over the preseason, with them playing a similar position to me. And if I ever have a question, one of those three are the first that I go to ask. And if I've, like just today, went in and watched some footage of the game and just got their thoughts on some things that I did. So it's really helpful having their expertise around to help little things in my game.
Whilst watching the game, did they point out anything, any blaring holes or anything that, you were surprised when they said, oh, look, Beau, you did this? Was there anything you were surprised and just the level of, I suppose, knowledge that, experience in the NRL gives?
Nothing blaring. Just some little things that I need to work on, and they're all things that I probably knew that I needed to fix in my game. But it's just good to get some clarification around things that I probably need to do better, and things that I'm doing pretty well. It gives you a bit of a buzz once they say, "Oh, you did this really well." So it makes you feel like you're going in the right direction.
No doubt, certainly puts it in perspective when you're surrounded by players with so much NRL experience. We'll go back to yourself though, Beau. What's been your biggest focus this preseason? What's one area of your game where you've really put the extra hard yards in to improve?
Just my defence as a whole. I've probably one area that I wouldn't say struggled, but probably been the weaker side of my game other than attack. Attack's always been a strong point of mine, but just working on my defensive movements. As an edge defender, my movements are very important. So, yeah, to be able to just get my movements right to give the half no other option, it's something that I've been, my whole preseason's really been focused on is my defensive movements.
No doubt. Final question for me before I let you go, Beau. What is your biggest goal for the 2019 season? When you look back on this year, what's one thing you're hoping that you've accomplished?
Well, the major thing is that to make my NRL debut has been a dream of mine since I was a young kid. So to be able to do that would be a dream come true. But more importantly, just play consistent footy all year. And if I do that, then I'm sure that dream will present itself.
Absolutely, no doubt. Beau, thank you so much for your time today. It's always appreciated, and it was great to have a talk.
Sweet, no worries. Thank you.
Cheers.